What's up, my brother? Good to have you here. We just recently did Stanley Kubrick's The Shining on DHS to kick off March Madness, and if you were there to watch that show, Scarpad had mentioned that he had not watched Doctor Sleep yet.
Well,
so
my first time. I
figured,
haven't seen. I knew I was going to watch it after watching The Shining.
right? Yeah, so figured no better time than now since we just did the Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, then to review Doctor Sleep on the side, since I figured Robbie did that before, I think last year or something. So I was like, perfect time. Me and you can do a little side review, because I wasn't even on that panel. So I was like, yeah,
Cool.
I'm definitely down.
Absolutely.
I love Doctor Sleep. Mike Flanigan's one of my favorite.
Yeah, I was thrilled
directors.
to watch this. I haven't seen too much of Mike Flanagan, although I hear good things. I've seen a few things from him.
Yeah.
But we were lucky because looking through the Wikipedia site, a popular place to go for horror facts, I saw that we almost was stuck with Akiva Goldsman. In 2016, Akiva Goldsman wrote the screenplay for this, and then there was some time between, and they decided not to go with his screenplay. Akiva Goldsman is a huge hack. I fucking hate the guy.
He's a executive producer on it, so he's weaseled his way in still.
He's got his thumb all over the new fucking Star Trek, which fucking blows balls, and he writes for those movies and those shows, and they're awful. So thank fucking God, my opinion. So thank God that we didn't get him writing Doctor Sleep. I think the right man got the job.
Yeah, and it looks like Mike Flanagan, not only directed it, but he did do the screenplay. So that was a big thing, because I mean, Mike Flanagan, I love all his stuff, and everything he's done Stephen King wise. I think he always knocks it out the park. You can tell he's a huge fan.
Yeah, I think
he had a big job with this
movie. I mean, the big decision, because so many powers would be between Stephen King and the studio, and all the past stuff between King and
Kubrick,
and the fact that Kubrick going to use parts of the book, and to keep it not only in tune with the book, but then to tailor it a little bit from the movie. Now, I'm not going to say it's perfect, because at the very end, it does kind of feel like, okay, now we're getting back into the Kubrick movie stuff, but still, I give the guy great
I think
props.
that's
I
That's for the fans, you
yeah,
know.
I give the guy great props for even attempting it. Um,
Yeah, it's a big thing, and I think he did a fantastic job because he's got to please Stephen King. He's got to please the fans that only know. Like, I mean, let's be honest. I
some
know
on
of the
yeah,
TV movie The Shining, but
I never seen it.
99% of
Yeah,
people don't know about it. They
yeah,
know only
they
about
know the movie,
Kubrick's.
right?
Yeah, and like you said, that is not completely the book. He did his own thing as he usually did. He would take,
Yeah,
you know,
and even Ferguson did adapt this and add, he melded a lot of stuff, but he really brought forth the whole notion of The Shining because I
yeah,
think in the what Kubrick did, he really lessened that. There's so very little left of the whole idea of The Shining. Just really get the
yeah.
conversation between Scatman Carruthers and the kid, and you get little
Which
bits here and there, but it's
I
not
love
really,
that.
and that's why you're not. It's not really brought into it that
Yeah,
the dad may have it and stuff because it's really not even
exactly.
touched on all that much. And
No,
what Cuba and what Flanagan does is he expands upon what that film did, but then he boosts it a little bit and gives it a lot more,
yeah.
to the book.
I love that they
And I love
dive
the
deeper
fact that it
into The
really
Shining.
right that he dealt into that and he dealt into the because I don't know how much of that stuff it probably was in the book where it's Scatman's Crothers character. In this one, it's not him. It's I think his name Carl Lumbly plays him in this movie.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously, because I think he died at this point,
Right.
right?
So,
Yeah, but
well,
he still does a great job. He
right,
does
and
a
he's the
great
one that
job
teaches
filling.
them. He teaches them how to keep the ghosts from the Overlook in
Yeah,
lockers that he's able to let
which
out when he needs to let them
which I,
out.
I love because he says that thing too. Like he comes back and he's like, "How long has it been?" 8 years, and he's like, he's like, "You grew up." He's like, "But you still have a debt to pay." He's like, "Shit." He's like, "You walked into my fridge and I'm still on. You walked into
Right.
my kitchen and I'm still on the hook." And
Yeah.
I kind of like how he kind of helped him all through those years, and now Ewan will be helping Abra. And
Well,
like
yeah. Yeah.
that kind of like goes on. Especially that she ends up losing her father. But I really loved the story, and I thought Ewan McGregor did a fucking
Yeah,
fantastic
it's a little,
job.
it's a little, I didn't get the vibe right in the beginning that he was an alcoholic. That's why when he went to Alcoholics Anonymous, I was kind of saying, well, what he's not, but he was an addict. That's touched
Oh,
on.
definitely.
That's
Well,
touched
you
on a
got
little bit,
also too with his dad, and
right?
because we both, I watched the theatrical, and you did as well. Because I mean, he's getting I mean, they don't go deep into it for a while, but they kind of set it up to show you, like he woke up on the middle of the street the one time, and
Right,
um,
right. He's having
that
a lot of
woman, like,
blackouts and stuff, and
yeah, and that's where I was telling you about, like, he's drinking to dull The
right,
Shining,
The Shining, right?
and
Because he doesn't, when Abra wants to promote it a little bit and get himself out there, he
and
doesn't. He's trying
yeah,
to hide. He's trying to,
yeah,
because he knows
exactly,
people are looking for him, and he knows that
yep,
his inner ghost is still looking for him.
yeah.
From the thing. But I love and I think in another director's hand other than Flanigan, they would just wrote a screenplay that's probably Akiva Goldsman's
Mhm.
screenplay was probably let's set it all at the Overlook and let's go back there and
Yeah.
let's redo The Shining again.
We're gonna get a CGI Nicholson face and all
Yeah,
this,
he did,
where they
he
actually,
chose actors that look close to the part and
you know
acted
who
close
that
to the
is
part,
too. You
but
know who that is too. You'd never think, honestly, but he actually plays in a lot of
right.
Flanagan stuff. Shit, what's his name? He's great though, and from side angles, he looks like Nicholson.
Yeah,
Like they do,
I
they
wasn't as
do a
sold
great.
on I wasn't as sold as the woman that got to replace Shelley Duvall. Um,
I think she did good
She did
though.
okay.
I think
She did
her
okay for what
face,
she
she
did.
doesn't
Yeah,
look like it, but her
yeah.
acting, I thought was a
And
spot
I thought
on.
the kid that got to replace Lloyd, the kid from the first movie was pretty good too.
Lloyd?
Well, what was that? Danny Lloyd was the name of the. Was
Oh,
it
yeah, Dan. You mean just Danny as a kid?
Danny as a kid? That
Oh, you're
actor.
talking about the actor in
Right,
real
right.
life. Okay. Oh yeah, uh, Carl Lumbly. Who the hell? Who were we just talking about for?
Oh, Torrance, Jack
Oh,
Torrance.
Henry Thomas. Henry Thomas.
Oh, is that there was Henry Thomas from
That's
ET?
that's that's who
That's the
plays,
kid who played in E.T.
that's who plays Nicholson,
Man, he got
yeah.
old. Anyways, he doesn't
He
look all
plays in
good.
a lot
I know he does, yeah.
He's in a lot of Flanigan stuff, but I think the way they did the makeup and everything, I think
Yeah.
it came out really
But I
good.
love the fact that they set the Overlook as his past, and then the way they
Mhm.
brought it back into the story, I thought was really good. Where they would need help, and they could get these ghosts to defeat.
Yeah.
Really, they're
But yeah,
really,
because of this,
yeah.
I
To me, they're psychic vampires. That's how they really played
yeah.
as psychic
Well, it's like to
vampires.
me they're like yeah, to me they're like light the vampires from Life Force.
Yeah, they're trying to suck the
Or
life
so
force out of you,
yeah.
and the steam they call it.
The fear brings it
Right.
out and makes it pure and all that.
And they talked
So
to that one dude. I love the whole building up of the knot, the
the
twist, true knot,
true knot.
the different
I
characters.
love, dude,
So-
the opening of them when
right,
they get that girl Violet. Oh my god! And then she's talking to her, and then she pulls the flower out of her hat, and then the little girl looks to the left. She's like, "Don't worry, that's just my friend." He's just like standing back behind the tree, and she like keeps talking,
right.
and you hear another snap of the branch, and there's like five of them.
Yeah,
And then before you know it, they're just surrounding
yeah.
her. I was like, man,
I like how he
that
built
was
their
creepy.
story up first before they even got into
Yeah.
doing Ewan McGregor and his story.
Right. And then they dive in, yeah, because they start off with them,
I
then they
mean,
do
because
Abra,
even
and
Scott
then they show
McCrothers
his hard times.
in the original movie, Scott McCrothers says there's others out there looking for you and will
Yeah.
steal from you.
Which I like that they start off show
Right,
instead of just going right into
right.
Ewan,
I
they
mean,
go
this
into the
may not
others.
these may not be the same as the Overlook ones, but they're similar to it.
Yeah.
And he's always I love how he's always carrying with those characters with him. But I like that they build that up first. That actress was it Rebecca Ferguson that played?
Yeah. From Mission Impossible.
Oh, that's
She's
what she was.
great.
She was great in
Yep.
this movie, really
That's
good.
the one. Yeah. She's
And so was
fantastic,
that
man.
guy who normally plays like an Indian in every fucking show
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
Her
Cliff
partner there.
Curtis.
No,
Cliff
well, that's the guy
Curtis.
from Walking Dead. I'm talking about
Oh, you mean Crow Daddy,
Crow Daddy.
Clarendon.
He's a
Zach
great actor,
McClarnon or something.
and
He's
he
fantastic.
was really good in it too.
Yeah, I thought everybody was
Uh,
fantastic in
No,
this.
my only pick of the movies. Those guys did get picked off pretty easily. I mean, they whittled them down to one
Yeah,
pretty quickly, and they
but
died.
they never said they were invincible.
No, they're
They
not.
never said they just live long and
Right?
eat well. They never say they're
Yeah,
invincible.
that's true. That's true.
And it's funny though, because she gives her that story. She's like, live long, eat well. She's like, but we haven't eaten well in a long time. It's like, well, you
Right?
left that shit out when you were turning me, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I've been like, what the fuck?
yeah. Because they're all
Yeah.
starving. Even that main guy, the big old vampire from the Roman Empire days.
Yeah, right.
You know,
And
and he
maybe is that the guy from Fargo season 5?
yes, and he was also in Star Trek, and he'd been in a bunch of other stuff.
No, no, no. I'm just making a joke because
It
it's
is
him,
him.
but
Well, I think it is him. No, that's
no,
not him. But
no.
that guy was in.
I'm just saying because they
I'm
say
pretty
he's
sure
from the
that guy
Roman
was in Twin
empires and that
Peaks.
guy.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that guy was in Twin Peaks.
No, but I was just making a joke because they
Yeah,
said he from the Roman empires and that's where that guy came
yeah.
from too.
So
But
I love that they've been around together. Traveling in an RV, almost like in The Walking Dead, living in the forest and shit.
yeah, right.
That
Yeah.
was pretty good. But
It's cool though the way that they show that there's also different types of powers. Like the one
right,
girl has the persuasion, like stop, like oh, that's
yeah, kill yourself.
basically she killed that
Right,
one. I hate that man. I hate to see him go, man. Like
right.
Danny gets a like a real best friend, not like a
Yeah,
ghost best
he
friend.
gets him killed.
And oh my god. But I like the girl when she's in the movie theaters and she's like getting predators and like giving them the snake. What do they call her? Snake bite Andy.
Hmm.
I thought that was good. And then just like how she can kind of like track these people down, and that's how like they have a group, and each one has their own
Well, I think
part
they
to
mainly got
help
her
them.
because she looked real young, and
Oh
she's
yeah,
an easy to lure the kids into the van like she
exactly.
did the baseball kid.
Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly because she says she's like we haven't had whatever they call it
Mm.
in like a long time, so I'm gonna give you an option that I haven't given someone in 40 years. So that's
And
exactly
she
why it's just
and
to help her.
and Abra really kicks Rose's ass. I mean, with the
Dude, when
fingers.
she gets her hand
Yeah,
stuck in and she has to, oh man, that was gnarly.
yeah.
Yeah, because there's not like crazy gore in this or anything, but they do show the old lady in the bathtub and she looks fucking fantastic. like the effects that they do put in this look great.
Yeah, the makeups were done
Um,
really well.
I've always thought Ewan McGregor is a fantastic actor, but I really thought he brought it all in this, and I thought he was just absolutely incredible. I thought Abra was great as well. I loved their dynamic together, and Rebecca Ferguson and her whole True Knot was just
And
fucking
I told you
great.
earlier, man, my fucking cat when I woke up this morning was staring at me in bed. So I'm fucking worried now. I
Yeah.
know. I know. It fucking worries
Hey
me.
man, that cat was full grown and it was living it lived in a hospital.
That
That was
cat
like a
knew. He
hospital cat.
knew.
Yeah. Doctor Sleep.
The cat's coming to visit me.
And you even get for a bit the guy who plays the doctor. What's his name? He's
Oh,
not in it very long,
Bruce
but
Greenwood.
Bruce Greenwood, yes. And he's actually in the House of Usher. He's a
Mhm.
main player in House of Usher. So Flanagan does like to get certain few people to bring back, like Bruce Greenwood, Henry Thomas. Um, I think those are the only two in this that he
The other
bring.
thing,
But yeah,
the thing I think they downplayed, they brought up the alcoholism, but they really downplayed it. Last night we were talking on your show last night.
well, there is the director's cut as well, which that adds some. I think that adds a little bit more to
Okay,
it.
but
But
yeah, I'm only gonna go with the theatrical because I didn't see that.
yeah,
And you gotta go by what's in the theatrical,
I might rewatch the director's cut
Yeah,
tonight. Honestly,
but they really play down a little bit of the. I didn't to myself. Some of those guys like Manny talk about the. I never got a vibe that he was being sexually abused. I got a vibe that he was being physically abused. I mean, maybe he was
right?
being sexually abused, but they really play down all that here. The abuse
Yeah,
angle. You get the fact that his father was an alcoholic. His father had a temper. His father
yeah,
did, manhandle him once or twice, but mainly that he got the alcoholism from his
yeah,
dad.
yeah.
The whole physical violence thing is really played down here to a degree.
I really always thought too that like he's a kid, so he remember like that is a big traumatic experience. So
Right,
he will probably mostly remember the bad. But I
right.
don't think Jack Torrance was a bad dad or anything. I think he had a
Well,
big he did a big fuck up. That was the
I think he was like an
Overlook
alcoholic. I
that
mean, if you
got
watch
into it.
that scene
Yeah.
when
But
they're
dude,
going up to the
I'm
Overlook for
telling
the
you,
first time,
he was an alcoholic to dull The
right,
Shining.
right.
After when I watched this Doctor Sleep, in my heart, bro, I that shit does not that shit is passed down, bro. His
Well, it's probably in the
father
book. They just
had The
don't.
Shining.
They downplay it.
His father had The Shining, and
Yeah,
that was why. Like, eh, okay, if his dad was such an asshole, how come he didn't beat his son every time he got drunk? How come
yeah,
they only speak of the one time?
right.
One time.
Well, because who
He
knows? I mean, you
said
never speak of
he
that
even
stuff when it's
says,
happening.
but
But
that
you got to
or
go by what's in the right. You got to go
his
by what's
wife
in the
would have.
movie.
He even says he's like, my wife won't let one time. He's like, I love the kid. He's
Yeah,
like, but one time I fucked
yeah,
up.
yeah.
He's like, and she'll never let me live it down. I'm telling you, man, it was I mean, it's not right. It's
Right.
definitely not right. But I'm saying, that's what alcohol does, and
Yeah. I
that's
mean,
why, like,
that's how it's portrayed in the movie, at
he
least.
did
So
have he definitely had a temper. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But that's what the Overlook
it was Jack Nicholson.
they fed on that, and that's
Right.
what they exploited him, and that's how they got him. Because even
Right.
when Abra, when it goes into Ewan, she's like, that's not my uncle. She's like, you're the
Right.
hotel, like because,
Right.
and
Well,
I kind of like
yeah,
how they
the whole
established that.
scene, where the Lloyd, the bartender, is trying to get
Oh my god,
McGregor to drink, and he pours him
yeah,
2 drinks. Are you going to drink that? And he hits it away. And Ewan
yeah,
McGregor
and
gives
it's
that
his
speech
father
about
though now,
right,
and that's why people think that the bartender that was talking to Jack was maybe his father because you see
right,
how it's like,
right,
but I do. I love too when he sees what's it Dick like after like in the hospital or whatever, and he almost like he opens up the box. He's like, whoa, it's just me. He's like, you was about to throw me in the thing with all them other monsters. He's like, oh, I didn't know it was you. And he's like, those ghosts still fucking around with you? He's like, oh man, it's been a long time. He's like,
right.
the last one was whatever, I don't know whose name he said, but he's like, remember the guy that's got the glass in his hand? He's like, he had a shit eating grin on his face until I
Right.
opened up that box, and he wasn't so smiley then. But I love that shit. That was hilarious. I forget what his name was though. You remember what I'm talking about though?
Mhm.
But yeah, that shit fantastic, man. I think the way the Overlook Hotel looked spot on. And when they show that scene of them going back, that's the original footage. They
Well,
just
some of it I think was the original footage, just edited
no, it
in.
is. It is, yeah,
Yeah,
it's the original footage, but they
the
just
shot
added
where he's
snow
right, right.
where like it literally where they go through the mountaintops and up. That's the exact. They couldn't refilm that, so they just made it darker and added snow, and I think they changed the car. I mean, yeah, they probably like when they pull up to the Overlook, that's like new footage, but I'm saying like when they're driving up the hill, that's like legit footage from The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I movie did give me some vibes. Though. I'm not saying it borrowed, but we talked about earlier. I got a real Logan vibe out of this too because Logan
oh,
also
Jesus.
Logan also dealt with.
Jesus, I could think of 20
Well,
different
I
movies
know,
that
but I
like
thought Logan because Logan dealt with Logan taking that girl who was being hunted for her power and guiding. I'm not saying it's the exact same thing, but I'm just saying it's similar. You just mentioned the flying scene. I got wicked Superman vibes off that when Superman's up in the air,
when
flying
Rebecca
around,
Ferguson is
and
flying around.
also the remember all the scenes in the X-Men when Dr. Xavier is using whatever that is there, the helmet, and he's searching out, looking for people. I'm not saying he stole it. I'm just saying those are the vibes I got from it.
They stole it. I mean,
I didn't say he stole it. I said I got those vibes from it.
you know what? Everybody steals from everybody.
I know. I'm just saying.
But yeah, I don't know that it was a little weird with Rebecca Ferguson flying around like that. But yeah, I don't know. It was
And you,
weird too. So I guess they eat regular food because she was grocery
oh yeah,
shopping.
she had some Utz potato chips right in the
Yeah,
fucking.
I was gonna say I was getting a little hungry when I
Yeah,
saw
you
them
gotta have
Utz
chips,
potatoes.
even if you're a psychic vampire. You can't eat that shit all
Exactly.
the time.
Yeah.
They said they touch on the movie. That shit's because of cell phones and fucking Netflix. The fucking Shining's down, man.
Yeah, it's fucking up the steam, man.
I knew fucking see all that subscribing bullshit. Streaming media, man. Netflix fucking did.
It's
Hulu.
fucking up the shine, man.
Fucking
It's
the
fucking it
shine.
all up.
That's right.
Hey, get down. What are you doing?
But yeah, I mean, just this movie is such. I mean, it's on a good level with The Shining. I mean, that will always be a classic. This one gives you the same vibe, and it adds the stories is so much deeper in this one.
Yeah.
Well,
I love that they add to The Shining and all that, and just kind of dive deeper and explain some things too, and that addiction passes
mm-hmm.
down, and that's I mean you see like father like son with some things. I mean he had some Danny had some dark days himself, just like his father.
Okay, so now the ending, Flanigan likes to fuck his well in a cubic. The old woman in the tub and Abba goes in the door and gets hugged by her. What's your interpretation of that?
Huh?
The ending of Doctor Sleep, where after she talks to her mother and tells her that
hugs her.
Well, he gets out, kind of gets behind her and goes around like she's gonna hold her. She goes in the room. The woman
She's
is
probably
taking
about to throw her in her box.
That's what I mean.
Like
I mean,
Danny did.
that's what I was thinking. Is she just? But what does she? Because he wasn't in that room. Was she gonna take her out of the box? Throw her in the box? What was she? What
throw
was
her in the box like Danny did?
Mm-hmm. But I mean, they weren't in the whole.
She hug her. Why would she hug her?
She almost looked like she was coming up and back to embrace her, baby.
Dude, no, the old lady always like has.
Was she turning to? Was she turning to evil?
Doing?
Was Abra gonna be evil now?
You're ridiculous.
Okay,
dude,
but
the old lady was even doing that to Danny.
But was that?
Lay down.
Was that Abra's bathroom?
She was gonna do what Danny taught her and just keep throw her in that box because now those ghosts are out because Danny had to let them loose to save them.
Okay, so
now they're back.
So she's the first one she got.
Yeah, exactly.
So now
yeah, exactly.
And Danny's part of her psychic lockbox, I guess.
Yeah, well, just like Dick was to Danny. So.
Right.
But I like how that is, man. I like how that that Uncle Dan lives on.
Yeah, he lives on and kind of as
through her psyche.
Right.
And he
he guides her.
But it sucks though that he did have to die because
Right.
I was hoping that he'd have lived, but I guess
Yeah, I
he
was hoping he's leaving, but that was almost his full. He got his rebirth, and he got his uh you
lived
know
down.
he came full circle. He made
Yeah,
resolutions with his dad. He resolved
right.
his part of the story, and he was able to do that without them getting
Yeah,
him basically.
yeah.
So yeah, I really like the way they took the character in the whole movie.
Me too.
And it was long, but man, it did not feel long at two
And
hours and
not at
35
all.
minutes.
Not at all.
But
Yeah,
I will definitely watch the extended version. I'd be interested to see what's in that that's different
yeah. Me
because
too.
it's 40 minutes longer.
I've
So
seen it before. I've seen it before, but I forget a lot of the extra stuff.
yeah, so it's a good half an hour. It's a good half an hour louder, longer. So apparently there's a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah, definitely. I just can't. It's been a while since I watched it because the directors, I feel like I've only watched once or twice. The theatrical I've watched the most,
Yeah,
just because it's always more accessible.
I'd be interested to see who they added more of. Or if you get more Bruce Greenwood, you get more of that stuff. I'd be interested to see
Yeah.
what the extra
I
is.
think you also get a little bit more of the Overlook stuff, and I think that I feel like there's a little bit different of an opening with Jack, where Jack is Jack Torrance. It's like flashbacks of him chasing him down the hallways and all that.
Yeah, and they did a great job restaging that too, because they reproduced that pretty well. You
Yeah,
know,
that did look good. Because I can't remember. Is in the theatrical? Is there a scene where Jack is chasing him like limping with
yeah,
an axe in his hand? Okay, then
yeah,
maybe some of that is longer in the director's.
that's in there, and they kind of transition to make Ewan McGregor that same type of thing. They make it so he becomes his father chasing. You know,
Exactly.
I love that he's able to pop back, and she brings him back for a short period before he reverts
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
Yeah, I gave The
I
Shining a
can't hold
five.
it much longer.
Yeah, I give The Shining a 5. This isn't a 5, but it's pretty close. I'm going to say it's a 4.75.
Yeah, I would agree.
I really think it's a great movie, and a
Yeah,
great adaptation. Of
because
Stephen King's
nobody,
adaptation.
dude, if you would have said somebody was gonna do a sequel to The Shining, everybody would have laughed in your face and said it never can be done. It's not possible, but Mike Flanagan sure made it possible.
Yeah, I know that any other director would have just done the same thing, copied what made The Shining.
Exactly.
But this,
And for that, to me, it's like a 5, but it's still not the classic that The Shining is. So
no,
since I gave The Shining a 5, I agree it's 4.75. But for what it had what it had up against it and what it had to do, like with the Stephen King and Kubrick drama and all that, it's a fucking fantastic
and
sequel.
and as we
It's a
said,
great film.
it's cast fantastically. I mean,
Yes,
they could
yeah.
have picked anybody better than any of the
And even like
parts.
Rebecca Ferguson isn't really known at this point either. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like she did the one Mission Impossible movie. She's not a big actress, but she's been getting a lot bigger, and I thought she was great. Ewan McGregor is the big one in this. She's the big name, and or he's the big name. I'm sorry,
Right.
but yeah, and I'd say Cliff Curtis is great as well.
Right.
Everybody's fantastic.
And they did kind of try to stay faithful to the original movie song there, the soundtrack. Pretty similar to the original with the same type of the drum background and the really atmospheric music.
Yeah.
That was done really well. I didn't see who did the
Oh
music
yeah.
for this, but it was done pretty well. It was,
Music by the Newton Brothers.
I don't think I've heard of them, but okay. But no, it was done well. So yeah, I'm very happy I watched it, especially right after The Shining. It really helps to
Hell yeah. That's why I was like, as soon as I
solve
did it,
all
I was
the.
like, I'm about to watch it. I'm about to watch that. I might probably end up throwing the director's cut on tonight while the theatrical is fresh to see what I remember and don't. It looks like these guys did the Fall of House Usher, which that's another Flanigan. They did Five Nights at Freddy's. They did Avengers: Infinity War.
Mhm.
Midnight Club, that's another Midnight Mass. So they work with Flanagan a lot. They did that Walking Dead World Beyond. Forever Purge,
Interesting.
Haunting of Bly Manor, that remake of The Grudge that was terrible, Haunting Hill House, more Flanigan stuff. So they've worked on Gerald's Game. So they've definitely worked on. It looks like they've worked on every single Flanigan movie. Hush, Ouija 2, yeah. So seems like
Cool.
they just did the Goosebumps Disney Plus TV series and Waco, the Aftermath. Yeah, so they got some good stuff under their belt.
All right, so between you and me, we gave it close to a 5, almost 4.75. Not bad.
Yeah, it's a great film, and I love it. It's very rewatchable for me because even with the length, it doesn't feel like it, and I'm hooked, line sinker the entire way through. I'm so into the characters, everybody, like the Crow Daddy, the True Knot. There's never a dull moment in it. I'm fully sucked in. I think I love this world, and I think they just did such a great job with it.
I could definitely see that where this could be expanded upon if they want to do a TV show or a movie. They
could have done a sequel with Abra, and then Ewan McGregor's the Dick O'Halloran at that point,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Glad we were able to talk about it after we watched it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I mean, if you guys,
I'm glad you enjoyed it, dude.
Oh yeah, talk to Dylan, talk to myself. If there's any other movies you want to see us do little side shows about, I'd love to do more. It's kind of cool seeing.
I'm always down.
It's kind of cool to see some of the offshoots of some of the stuff we watch.
Yeah, right.
Always down for it.
Oh yeah. Never too bad to put a little 30 minutes to the side for me and you to do a quick little review.
Cool, man.
But yeah, so be on the lookout. We got March Madness going on. By the time this comes out, I don't know. We might have already done Train to Busan, or we might have that coming out a day or two before.
This is coming. Yeah, this will be out sometime before that.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be doing Train to Busan this week. We'll probably just done Invisible Man with Robbie, and we're working on The Ones Who Live next. So, and some 007 should be coming up too. So with Timothy Dalton. So yeah, be on the lookout. Hit that like, subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll get updated every time we drop a video. And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Peace out.
Later, man.